Every 2 weeks for the past few months, a remarkable gathering of non-Indigenous people and facilitators in Ottawa has sought to foster understanding of issues facing Indigenous people in Canada. Shelby Lisk heads up our Ontario hub that covers Indigenous issues. She's been looking in on those meetings and she joins us now from our studio at Carleton University in the nation's capital. Welcome to the show, Shelby.
Hi.
So the focus of these meetings is the final report of the National Inquiry into the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls. That report came out in June. Can you kind of give us a little brief overview of that?
The inquiry into missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls was established by the federal government in 2016 in response to the disproportionate amount of violence that's faced by Indigenous women and girls and LGBTQ plus people in Canada. The final report is 2 volumes and over 1,000 pages. Over 2,000 people participated in the inquiry through statements from families and survivors, and also experts and knowledge holders and elders who shared their experiences. And the final report outlined some of the history in Canada to contextualize the information, as well as calls for justice for what can be done moving forward.
So one of the calls to justice is to read and to get to know Indigenous history. Can you tell us about the reading group you wrote about?
The reading group was started when one of the board members of KindSpace posted on Facebook saying that non-Indigenous Canadians need to be reading this report and doing the work as well. And so some of the board members took this call to action, and in response to that started this group. And so the group was originally meant for non-Indigenous Canadians to read and discuss the report with each other to educate themselves. However, now some Indigenous people have started coming to the group as well, and they've been welcomed, and they've been able to share their perspectives and their stories as well.
What's the hoped for outcome of this reading exercise?
So from talking to the facilitators of the group, the outcome that they're hoping for is just to create a space where people can talk about these issues without feeling shame and then shutting down and not wanting to confront them. So they can read the report and educate themselves, and in hopes that creating this community of people who want to educate themselves will lead to action.
Now, you had mentioned off the top, this report, several hundred pages long. They're not going through this report fairly quickly, I imagine. This is kind of a thorough and thoughtful kind of process, right?
Yeah. So they read about a chapter at a time when they meet, and they stop whenever it organically feels right to stop. If people have questions, or if they need to discuss and digest something that they just read, or if emotions are coming up for people, they pair people into twos, and so when they stop reading, they can sit and have some paired listening. So you don't have to talk in front of the entire group, but you can talk about emotions that are coming up for you while you're reading the report.
Now, you as an Indigenous person yourself sat in on this meeting as well. How did you feel witnessing this reading group?
So I attended the group for my first time about a month ago, and every group is different depending on what they're reading about and what comes up. But in the group that I was in, we talked a lot about loss. And so we ran around the table and we talked about what have we lost in our lives. So whether that's language or culture or family members, everybody has lost something. And at the end of the group, I shared with them that I felt like this was really important, that non-Indigenous Canadians know where they come from and they know their own trauma and their own history, because I think that prepares them to be able to be allies to Indigenous people in Canada. And so I was really proud of the work that they were doing, and I think that it's really important.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show, Shelby. That's Shelby Lisk, our Ontario Hub journalist who covers Indigenous issues. Thanks again.
Thanks for having me.
The Agenda with Steve Paikin is brought to you by the Chartered Professional Accountants of Ontario. CPA Ontario is a regulator, an educator, a thought leader, and an advocate. We protect the public. We advance our profession. We guide our CPAs. We are CPA Ontario. And by viewers like you. Thank you.